as the Most High. Okay, I'm going to put myself over him, above him. I'm going to be greater than him. Y'all going to worship me. That's been his plot from the very beginning. When he got kicked out, he still had the same mindset, and he would begin to turn men and to have men who are influenced by his foolishness or allow his foolishness to do this same spirit and to carry out, because they reproduce after their kind. So if the seed of the enemy is in them, they're going to reproduce after that kind. So fast forward. We're leaving from Nimrod and Babylon. Let's fast forward. King of modern day Gnosticism, Aleister Crowley. There are a bunch of different people that came before him and quite a few people after him. But I wanted to mention him because he was the king of modern day Gnosticism. He was the cat. Music, occult, Eastern religions, drugs, do whatever makes you feel good. These were all his, the things that he latched onto and the enemy had him latch onto to start influencing the people on a heavier level. Okay, it was the music before that. It's always been music, but there was a choice. You had people who would worship the Father through their music, and others who would worship the enemy. Okay, who would worship Satan. But here, do whatever makes you feel good. That's where that mindset came from. That's Gnosticism. Do what makes you feel good, and you're good because we're all gods and you don't have any worries. Just live a good life and do good things for people. That's that whole concept of you can do whatever you want to do and not have to pay for it. But that's that mentality that's being taught in our churches, in these institutionalized, mind-screwing institutions. They're teaching that over the pulpit. Humanism and Gnosticism is heavy in the church. And when I say the church, I'm not talking about the body of the Messiah, because we ain't confused. And those who love the Father and have been brought out of that, we ain't confused. Okay, I'm dealing with the church. That institution is a man-made institution based on man-made religion. And you're going to get what you get out of there. You're not going to get freedom in those walls. It's going to come from relationship with the Father. But people run there thinking that they can get some kind of freedom. And they're wondering, why am I running in circles? Why can't I be free? Because you don't have relationship with the Father. You're in sin. Your seed that's in you is a reproduction after the kind that you are. Okay, until you've been renewed, until you've been redeemed, and you allow that seed, that new seed, that seed of redemption that came from the sacrifice, the ultimate sacrifice that was made through the shed blood of the Messiah, you will not have a choice. You are prone to sin. It's just the way it is. Okay, so he plotted the 4 things which would be used to heavily influence man and water down the message of the gospel. Now understand this, watering down the message of the gospel. Yes, it happened in the Bible. This is not new. Paul spoke against it. They were having a hard time with it in the Old Testament. This is not new. This is just our modern day version of Gnosticism and humanism. It's been cultivated, should I say. The tree has grown. It's been pruned, and it's still connected to its source. So the more pruning it does, the more fruit it brings forth. Are you understanding me? So let's not leave out Hollywood, though. He talked about these 4 things being music, the occult, Eastern religions, drugs. But let's not forget about Hollywood and church. I don't remember who it was. I think it was Malcolm X that said religion is the drug of the masses. He ain't lying. He didn't lie. Religion is the drug of the masses, because people think that they can do whatever the heck they want to do, show up to church on a Sunday or show up to mosque or synagogue or wherever they go, and that because they shout, because they sing, because they gave an offering, that they're going to be atoned for. That's Catholic mess. Giving penance and all that. That's Catholic garbage. But understand, all churches came out of that whole part of secret Babylon, which is Catholic Church is a part of that. Okay, it is not the secret Babylon. It is a part of that culture. Secret Babylon came out of Babylon, which is mysticism and religion and paganism. Okay, but the Catholic Church is a branch of that paganism. Okay, and all that comes out of the Catholic Church, which is all religion, is the bastard harlot child of the Catholic Church. Okay, so I know for some people that's too heavy, but I'm just going to give you the real deal, and you can take and do whatever you want to do. Okay, so let's not leave out Hollywood, because they definitely use Hollywood as a tool. When you watch a movie, you have to be very, if you're not a grown-up believer, you need to be cognizant of what you're watching, because that stuff has influence. Okay, not to even mention video games. I hadn't put that on the list, but let's mention that as well. Television and video games. All of that stuff is a massive influence in this society. And those who are asleep are easily lulled by that. Those of us who are awake understand it's time to turn that mess off. Now, I'm not saying that you can't watch movies. That's not what I said. So don't get it twisted. Don't be trying to send me notes tomorrow. Are you saying that watching movies is sin? Don't be stupid. I didn't say that. I'm telling you that you need to be conscious. You need to be aware. You need to take heed as to what you're watching and what you're entertaining. Okay? And you need to get understanding. All right. And if you get understanding, if you're in relationship with the Father, then you'll have understanding and you'll know when something else is being pushed on you. You'll understand the subtleties of Hollywood and television and commercials and music and all of these other avenues by which Satan has been allowed into the minds of men who allow him to manipulate and control them for his gain. OK, are you with me? And notice I did not say those that Satan controls, because he can't control anybody that doesn't allow him to control them. That's the other fallacy about this sin. Well, I can't help it. You know, well, you can if you say you're a believer and you want to be free. There is a way for you to help it. OK, but you have to choose that. All right. Constantine, from 306 to 337 AD. All right. The church, by the way, was before this time ordained to screw the minds of the masses. This was not new. But Constantine, through 306 to 337 AD. In 312, Christianity is what happened. That whole, we're going to give it a name. This is our religion. This is a new religion on the scene. We're going to mix everything in. And when I say Christianity is a monster, that is a pagan bastard that has absolutely nothing to do with the Father, I ain't lying to you. Okay? They called me, I could have been called a Christian years ago, over 7 years ago. But I didn't make a big deal out of it. You got people today who make a huge deal out of it. Like, I'm a Christian. And if you ain't a Christian, it's like, what does that have to do with being born again? What does that have to do with relationship with the Father? Absolutely nothing. It's a man-made religion, people. You can argue with me all day long. But if you trace the history, you'll find out for yourself. It was not in the Bible. Okay, sure. The men that penned, I'm sorry, not that penned it, because those people were influenced by the Holy Spirit to do what they did. Okay, so those people aren't the problem. It's the people that translated, and we'll get to that soon, because sometimes I like to jump ahead of myself. So let me slow down, let me rewind, and let me go back to what I was talking about. So Christianity came in on the scene as a religion, as the religion of that kingdom, as the religion of the Roman Empire. Who instituted that as the Roman Empire's religion? Constantine. Okay, he then became not only the Roman Empire, but what they called the godfather of the Roman Catholic Church. Yes, I did say that. He not only was the Roman emperor, but he became the godfather of the Roman Catholic Church. Are you feeling what I'm saying right now? And trust me, the Catholic Church goes way back. The whole concept, their whole ideology and concepts comes out of them Jews that hated Yahshua, hated his guts. All of that's in the Bible. It's all there. This ain't no new nothing that just sprung out of somewhere and just came onto the scene. No, this was brewing over centuries, over thousands of years. Okay. So he also, like I said, became the Roman emperor and the godfather of the Roman Catholic Church. Worshiper of the sun god is what he was known as. Sol Invictus. And I believe that's on the back of the Pope's chair. How about that? Sol Invictus. Held the title Pontifex Maximus, meaning high priest, which is also what the priests of the Catholic Church hold. You heard what I said, right? Until death, he held this position. Although he was supposedly baptized a Christian, which doesn't mean a thing, because Christian is the religion that he instituted. So what? They try to act like, well, you know, Christianity is what we should be if